Well, good evening, class. Hopefully that it is Thursday night and you are actually listening to this video, so I really hope that we have our YouTube problems ironed out. By the way, the 3-7 video is up. It did go up this morning at 8:12. I just hadn't realized it. So hopefully we won't have any problems. So here we go. We're going to do lesson 3.8 tonight, and it's going to go over fractions and decimals. And primarily what we're going to be concerned with is changing fractions into decimals and changing decimals into fractions. And I have two of your distinguished sixth graders here to help. You want to say hi?
Hi. Hello.
That's Nasim and Mac from my my sixth grade ISM math class. And they're going to help me do this video for you guys tonight. So hope you enjoy. All right, so let's start by changing decimals into fractions, because I think personally, this is the easier direction. All right, so here's what we're going to do. So basically we have to be able to go back and forth in both directions. So we're going to start in the decimal direction, and first we're going to change into fractions. And then next we'll do the opposite direction, where we start with fraction and we change back to decimal. Okay, so that's the whole lesson. Now, changing decimals into fractions, I've actually got this cool way to do these. Here's what I do. It's called, think like a little frog. Okay, so here's a little frog. Okay, there's a little froggy. Okay, and what do frogs say?
Ribbit. Ribbit.
Yeah, ribbit, ribbit. And so the frog is actually telling you how to change a decimal into a fraction. What he's really saying, if you listen closer, is he's saying read it, reduce it. Read it, reduce it. Read it, reduce it. You don't believe me? Well, watch. Sorry, I'm having too much fun with my frog. So there you go. All right, so read it, reduce it. So I'll give you an example. Suppose I do 0.75. Nasim, read that. Don't say 0.75. See, yeah, read it. You were starting to write the right way. Read it the right way to say it.
75 hundredths.
Now, if you close your eyes for a second and you hear Nasim say 75 hundredths, she might be saying 0.75, but she also could just as easily be saying 75 over 100. Both of them are read exactly the same way, aren't they?
Yep.
I mean, they both say 75 hundredths.
Right.
All right, so literally you read the decimal the proper way, the way Miss Haynes would make you read it in 4th grade, and so you say 75 hundredths, and now you reduce it. What goes into 75 and 100, man?
25. 25.
25 does, okay. So if you divide out 25, okay, no squabbling, kids. When you divide out 25 from the top and bottom, sure enough, we get 3/4, and that's in simplest form, so that's what we need to do. All right, let's do a couple more. Let's do 0.7. Mac, what is that reading, if you read it the right way? Read it.
7/10.
7/10. And this one, Nasim, can you reduce that?
Nope.
Nope, that's actually already reduced. All right, let's do another one. Let's do 0.22. Read that one, Nasim.
22 hundredths.
So you write it as 22 over 100. And Mac, what can you take out of both of those?
2.
Take a 2 out, and it's going to reduce down to what? 11 over 50. And that's your final answer, because nothing else goes into this. All right, so all you got to do when you're going from a decimal into a fraction is read it, reduce it. Got it?
Got it.
Read it, reduce it. All right, now let's go the other direction. So now let's go the blue direction, which is changing fractions back into decimals. Well, this is also kind of cool, because now we're going to practice doing the division that we did back earlier this year. So to change a fraction into a decimal, all you have to do is divide. That's it. Okay, so let's take a fraction. Let's go backwards. Let's take one we just had a second ago. We had 3/4, right?
Yep.
How do you change 3/4 into a decimal? Well, what you do is this is really just 3 divided by 4, and we're going to actually show the work. So we do a little bow tie thing here. Bow ties are big in math. So the 3 that's being divided goes inside the sign, and the 4 that we're dividing by goes outside. And don't freak out that you're dividing by a bigger number. If you started with a proper fraction, of course the bottom's always bigger. Okay, so the bigger number's outside. So we're obviously going to need to do some decimal division. No big deal though. Just do 2 decimal places usually. Put a decimal up on top. There's no decimal up front, so we don't have to change anything. 4 doesn't go into 3 at all, does it?
No.
No, but it will go into 30 how many times?
7.
Yeah. 4 times 7 is?
28.
28. So subtract. We're doing does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers, if you forgot. Okay, this is good practice for using that. We'll put the parentheses around the C. I put parentheses around the C. It stands for divide multiply, subtract, check, and bring down. Because people who do a lot of partial quotients dividing sometimes don't take enough out when they're dividing, and so the check step makes sure that they take enough out. And I put it in parentheses because you don't write anything in that step. This is just a mental step. Okay, Mac's good at mental. All right, all right. So we're in the middle of this. So I'm just kidding. So 4 goes into 37 times. That was the divide step. We multiply, we get 28, and then we subtract, we get 2. We bring down the 0, and sure enough, 4 goes into 20 exactly 5 times. And even though I'm out of room, we know that we're done. So 0.75 is the decimal, which is exactly what we started with. Remember, we started with that on the first one, and we ended up with 3/4. So this is just the inverse operation. We start with 3/4 this time, and we end, come on, we end with 0.75. Okay? All right, so let's practice a couple more of those. And we kind of filled up the screen a little bit more on this one. So let's go to a new screen, and we'll go to black. Okay, so let's try changing, let's see, let's do 2, boy, this is not working very well. Okay, let's do 2/5, and let's change that into a decimal. All right, so what do we do?
Do 2 divided.
We're going to do 2 divided by 5. We're going to put in at least 2 decimal places to start. We'll put the decimal on top. 5 goes into 20.
4 times.
Oh, that was easy. And what is 5 times 4?
20.
20. So we subtract, we get a 0, and there's no sense. We don't even need that. We get 0.4, and we're done. That was easy. All right, let's pick a harder one. How about let's do? All right, this is a good one. Let's do. How about 3/16? All right, so this time we're going to divide 3.000
Divided by
0. I have a feeling I know that's going to take that many. All right, so let's do, does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? Put the C in parentheses. Here we go. 16 goes into 30 one time, and we get 16. We subtract, we get 14. Yes, Mac, you can talk.
Does
divide,
or does McDonald's?
It doesn't matter. It's either way would work, but it's does. It's a question. Like, does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers? The answer is yes, and that's how we remember how to do this. Okay, so here we go. Let's continue. Bring down the next digit, and we get 0. 16 goes into 140. Ooh, that's a tough one.
8 times.
I think he's right. I think it's 8. So 8 times 6 is 48. Carry a 4, you get 128. And yep, Mac was right. It's going to come out with a remainder of 12. We check and make sure that's less than 16. Mac was right, it is. So we bring down another 0.
That goes
160 goes in. Now hold on, we already did it. Yeah, and this one is really staring us right in the face, right? We already know that 16 times 8 was 128, right?
Yeah, so you need to do
and it's just a little bit too big, so we go down by 1. Hold on, we can't quit there.
Yeah, we can, because we know that 8 is 1/2 of 16, so we can just, because we know the next one's going to be 7.
7 times 16 is 42. And so we get 4, and we get 112, and Max said we are going to get 8. And now we're going to finish it up. And 16 goes in 85 times, and that's where we're going to stop, Mac. So it's, you know what, I'm just going to put an arrow here, and you know what, if we show our work nice and neat, there's no reason to rewrite that number. If it's nice and neat, just put a box around it, we're done. Yay. All right, so here's what I want you guys to do. I'm going to give you a quick practice here. So I'm going to give you 4 problems. Let's give you 2 fractions. Oh, hold on, I forgot one more thing. There's one more thing I got to show you. Let's do 5/6. Let's change 5/6 into a decimal. Okay? So 5 goes inside, 6 goes out front. We're going to put a couple zeros in. How many zeros you want? 3? You think that's good?
Yeah.
All right, 6 goes into 50. How many times?
658 times.
8 times, that'll give you 48. Subtract, you get 2. Check, is that less than 3? 6, yes it is. Bring down a 0. Stop going ahead, Mac. 6 goes into 20, it's going to be 3. 6 times 3 is 18. You subtract, you get 2. Wait a second, didn't we just have 2 a second ago?
Yep.
Bring down another 0. 6 goes into 20. 3 times. We're going to get 18. We're going to subtract. We're going to get 2. Put in another 0. Bring it down. Does anybody notice a pattern yet?
It's a repeating decimal.
Right. This is going to keep repeating until I run out of room. It's going to go to infinity. So the way we write this, you've seen this before. This is 0.83. And since only the 3 keeps going, we put a bar over the 3. What that really means is 0.8333333. And that's called a repeating decimal. Okay? And basically there's 2 kinds of decimals. Okay, there are the decimals that we had on the previous screen. Okay, where 0.4 and 0.1875 where they stop. And we get to an end of the division problem. And then there's this kind where we can see that the process is just going to repeat and it's going to loop and 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 just keep going, right?
Say that 5 times
and that's
fast.
called, yes, 5 times fast. And so this is the repeating decimal, and that is the correct way. All right, so you know what? Rather than stretch this out, that's 10 minutes already. Let's hope that this gets online for you all tonight. So thanks for watching. This is Mr. Gunn and
Nasim and Mac.
Mac.
Thanks for
and we are
introducing me.
all signing out, and
don't
let's
put
just say
that
hi.
picture.
Yeah, we gotta put that picture. So
I don't
say
like
bye.
this picture.
Say bye. Okay.
Bye bye.
We'll see you later,
You see
guys.
brothers moving? I'm talking.
No.